Hello Marvel Heroes fans, welcome to the third episode of Managing Your Stash. In part 1, I talk about the artifacts that help you to decide which one to keep and so on. Part 2, we talk about rings and costume core. So in this part 3, which is also one of my favorite, is about managing the unique runes as well as the relics. So let's talk about unique. In this game drop a lot of unique. By the time you level from level 1 to level 60, you probably have collected quite a few, especially if you participate in some of the events and so on. Unique can be upgraded to level 60. So in the past, what people would do is that they keep all their old unique and then hope that by the time you hit 60, you can upgrade them to level 60 unique. Or you could store, unique of the same kind, 4 of the same kind, to try to craft or exchange for another unique at level 60. But these days, from what I've seen, unique drop quite consistently. It's quite easy to farm for your level 60 unique. So do you need to keep all those unique or not while you are leveling? It is really entirely up to you now. So that's one aspect of the unique. Another aspect of the unique is about all the any hero unique that been dropping like candies. You probably have a stash full of all these any hero unique of different various affixes, different role range, and wondering, should I keep this, should I not keep this? This video is for you as well. But last but not the least, there are unique that are very rare, very hard to get. Those are farming from the boss, like you have to run the terminal like 200, 300 times or even more in order to get that unique. And those unique, of course, whether I strongly suggest that you should keep those unique. So let's start with the unique that is for your hero. So when you become 60, the first thing you could do is that you can go into Card Crafter. That's one way to exchange. In case if you do not know, you can exchange a unique, a 4 dupe unique for random usable unique at level 60. So for instance, if you have while you level, you collect four unique of the same kind, maybe of different level. So what you can do is that you can put it in the blender. It will give you a random unique. Not guarantee that one that you could is useful to you, but it has to be one that you can equip. And also, if you go for this 4 dupe exchange, you may actually have a chance to get any hero unique. So there's no guarantee. However, if you have stash, you store quite a lot of unique here and there, and you may just want to say, hell, I just put in the blender. When I hit 60, you can do it. Or even when a hero is level 1, like what I do is that when Iceman come on board, I will just take all this duplicate unique that I have, and now just blank it, have the full set of level 60 unique for Iceman, just ready for him to hit level 60 and use them. So that's one option for you. And also bear in mind that if you have hero stash, like if you buy packs and so on, you have all those hero stash, you can put any hero unique into into the stash. There's no restriction there. So that's one way for you to store some unique while you are hoping to roll for your level 60 unique later using this method. So that's one way. Another way, which is more, if you are having an inventory problem, meaning that you do not have so many stash open up for whatever the reason, you may consider rolling the affixes for your pet. You may or may not know that your pet has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranks, and the 5th rank you achieve it by donating unique to it. So when you donate 8 unique, doesn't matter what level, doesn't matter what type of unique, you donate 8 of them in it, you'll have a roll. So it is random. It could be a +1 strength, +2 strength, +3 energy, +1 fighting, +1 speed, durability, whatnot. I mean, one of the attributes will be rolled inside with a range of 1 to 3. And it is good to know that you can re-roll. If you get one of the affixes that you do not like, for instance, you could actually go into the under gear, under this pet reset. You can actually put any pure element there, put your pet there and re-roll the affixes. So as and when you have 8, my suggestion is that as and when you have 8 unique that you want to dispose, then you can re-roll at one time, because you may want to hold on to whatever affix you have, even though it's not the best, most optimal, but just want to keep it first. until you have 8 unique, roll them in, reset it until you get +3 fighting. Now, I've got a lot of pets. I've got like tons of pets. In this game, I've got like I don't know how many pets I have. I've lost count, and you could spread your unique across different pets and try to roll like, I want to have a +3 energy for my energy player, or some other affixes and so on. You may do that, but my advice to you is that just focus on one first. Believe it or not, I'm still working on one pet, although I have like 10 or 20 of them, 10 pets, but I'm still working on one because I cannot find the affix that I want for all 5 of them. I'm still rolling for the third one, and can you imagine? I've spent months doing it just for one pet. You could spread your unique across different pets and try to use plus energy for your energy player and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, when it comes to end game, +3 fighting is all you need. It beats the I'll do another video on this attribute, but it beats all the +3 energy, +3 strain and so on, at least at the end game. But for leveling, it's a slightly different story. But I would just strongly suggest you keep rolling your unique until you get +3 fighting. And now, of course, if you have a summoner, you may consider a +3 intelligence instead. But I still strongly feel that get one really nice pet with all the generic attribute that can use for all hero, and just forget about the whole pet things. That's my suggestion. So any access, and any unique that you do not need, just roll it in. Also, just a word of warning: if you are already at the max rank, if you donate your unique onto your pet, what it will do is that it will actually upgrade the next rank, which is a yellow one. So you wouldn't want to do that. Always check whether you can donate or not. My suggestion: 8 of them at one go, get the affix you want. If you don't like it, keep it until you got another 8 unique, roll it in. Now that's a burn off a lot of your unique. But however, if you are really lucky and you end up getting getting a +3 fighting in a very early part of your pet's grooming, what do? There are actually ways to get rid of the unique in a very a useful manner. One is to exchange for you could exchange for credit if you are having constantly low in credit, be as you keep rolling for legendary quest, you keep rolling for your really max roll kind of like costume affixes and so on, you may run into credit issues. So this could be one way to get to get rid of your unique. But bear in mind that you have to keep 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind to get the best out from the deal. My personal favorite is to, or you can exchange for rune. Again, rune is not really an issue here because I do not think the rune is a good deal, because a lot of runes are just useless. I'll talk about runes in a little bit later. I would actually go for the relics, because in this game, although relics is relatively useless, but it is pretty awesome to get 50 relics in one go. I bet you get 4 units much faster than getting 50 relics of the same kind. So what you do is just exchange them. Right click, and then after that you exchange and hope for the best. So I've got, this one is not bad, 50 of them, just like that. You try to get 50 of this one, you probably get farm a while to get it. 4 unique go in. So I hope so far you get an idea of how to get rid of your unique, because you do not want to hoard them. So the next question is what happened to the any hero unique? Like I said in the beginning of the video, there are only a few that you really want to keep, those that you farm from bosses. Like for instance, this one is dropped by Magneto, I believe, and it gives a very, if you're hybrid, it gives you a very nice damage rating across the three damage type, the three of them, plus crit, plus health, everything you can think of as a hybrid. +2. Anytime you see a unit with +2 ranks to all power, it is a keeper, no brainer. Curse drop one of these as well. Curse drop Mask of Algrim. Mask of Algrim has +2 to all power, as well as all other very desirable stats on a slot 5 that usually do not have any damage element to it. So again, this is good stuff. Then if you do a lot of like industrial petrol, city petrol, like this region right now, you may have a chance to get a Kyrgyz katana, which is also a pretty decent unit. Again, +2 to all power with all the various crit and strike and whatnot that you can think of. This is basically is pretty good stuff. If you do raiding, you may get the Overseer Mace, which is a very desired slot for the melee hero. Look at the crit damage rating, +2 power with health in it. Yeah, and if you if you do the cow level, you may get some of this really interesting stuff. You know, it's not bad. It's a +2 power and +1 to all attribute. You know, and it's on slot 3. This is really good stuff. So if you see any of this, you keep it, right? If you don't have space, you buy space. Just keep it. That's no brainer. However, if you have any other hero you need, like how should I present to you? So for instance, you may have something like a whole bunch of I don't know. Like whole bunch of like stream sword or whatever crap that it is, that a lot of them. So what I usually do is I try to store them until I hit 4 of them, and I exchange them for relics. Now but of course, not all any hero unit are bad, especially if the hero design is terrible. I'll give you an example. If you look at say Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is a classic case. Her unique design is just horrible. The only thing that is remotely usable is her slot 3. So what to do with slot 1 to 5? So, you know, like slot 1 I use Santa Claus, set 2 I use Nate Grace, then after that, okay, I don't talk about this one first. So, you know, I realized that things like this slot and this slot, I mean, you know, Santa Claus and also Nate Grace is something that I usually use. So I will keep these 2, right? And for slot 5 is another kind of like trouble area, because you know not many slot 5 are available as any hero. If your hero design is just terrible, slot 5. So you know I happen to have one of these from the event as well. Those are keeper. But I mean, from any hero's perspective, you know, I would say Santa Claus, Nate Gray, and I think there's one as well. But hang on a sec. Okay, another one that I find useful for any hero unique is this particular one here, which is the shield system belt, and because it has health, crit, and so on. So you know there are many that I recommend you to keep. You know, Santa Claus, the Nate Gray, and also this one that I find it useful. And the and probably that I can also think about one more that I use is the if you play the say, hang on. So yeah, this is the one that I find it quite useful, the anti-metal ammunition, especially when the hero unit design is no good. So yeah, so this is another one that I use. But besides the one that I mentioned from Ms. Marvels, the 2 of them, this one as well as this guy here, I really don't see a lot of opportunity to use anything else out there for the any hero unique. You know, you may have a little bit different experience, but my thinking is this, right? I mean, you know, all these unit drops quite a lot. So even if you make a mistake to just throw away something that you may need in the future, that is just really no big deal. I mean, you can always use the hero unique first, and then you know whenever you get any hero that you feel is more useful, you can use it as upgrade. But there's no point in hoarding too much of this any hero unit. So I mean, yeah, so these are only a couple of them that I really use. And I forgot to mention one thing about the farming as well. This Nisanti boots, by the way, is also one of those that are really desirable, because you know, like you have to farm hoods for it, and they give you a +2. I upgraded to 69, so it's +3, but it's +2 to all power. It gives you quite a fair bit of damage and so on. Only if your hero design is hero unit is terrible. So just to recap what I've just said about the unique is that bear in mind that if you have spare unique, you go in and you can roll your pet. If you have 4 of a kind, you can either exchange for level 60 unique for your hero, even if your hero is at level 1, or you can go for either credits or relics. choice is yours. I go Relics. And also, don't hoard any hero you need. Even if you make a mistake, that's fine, because there's many options out there. Besides the few that I just featured in this video, I've played all the heroes. Yeah, I've geared more than half of them. I really don't see like any of those opportunity whereby I will use like like this unstable whatever war shoot. I just wait for 4 of them. I'm going to throw it away, or even I'm trying to see if one day I'll use that seed or not. But I mean, it's a hard choice sometimes. I don't really, a lot of these any hero unit are really just a space waster. So okay, so I hope that's enough talk about the unique, and let's talk about the runes. From the runes perspective, I've done some study on this whole thing. The rune that I personally use, the runes that I personally find useful are the one that I'm going to highlight here, which is this set here. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, 12, 14, about 14 of them. I find it useful to all my to all my heroes. Now, the one at the last 2 at the bottom is interesting because these are really rare runes. Now, how do you tell whether a rune is rare or not? It's actually quite easy. So, for instance, if you look at the rune like say I don't know, let's pick one that is okay. So for instance, I take this one, right? Look at the value, 270 credit. Yeah. Look at this one here, 10,000 credit. So that itself tell you how rare the rune is. This one, 10,000, right? So when you're in doubt whether you have got like the rune that are really rare or not, check out the sale price. The sale price gives you a good indication whether you have strike gold or not. Those that with a high credit, keep those. So things like those that are very rare that drop like things that I feature here at the last 2 row are the one that. Oh, by the way, dupe rune is another one that you should definitely keep here if you have, because that is very desirable for hybrid hero. But I only get to use all this 14 here. And if you have more than that, you probably just want to save it somewhere. Now, I've day rune as well, but day rune is another one that's quite useful. I put it there. Maybe I'll just put it here. But a lot of them, they're not really useful. And if you stack up to 100, unless this is one of those common ones that you use, I suggest you just toss it away. Now, how do you establish what kind of rune that you need? I hope by now your Enchanters is a max level. So let me run through some of the things that I burn a lot of runes on. Maybe that will give you some idea of why I'm keeping certain kind of runes and why I don't even consider some. Experience rune to me is great because even when you're at max level, when you're chasing after the Omega Dream, you need the XP, and 40 XP per enemy defeat. If you get 3 of them, like I walk the talk. You 4 of them is 120 XP per enemy defeat, and it's quite a fair bit. That is something that I definitely use it all the time. If my hero is very fragile, I will use the cattle for my 3 of them. So every time I need to burn 3. So you tend to keep quite a lot of cattle. Especially cattle is quite hard to get, relatively. So that is the one. And the rest of it are just useless dodge and whatnot. Just don't fall into it. Mental damage, you need some, but you probably don't have a lot of mental hero. And by the way, this only applies to slot 1 and 5. So each hero only burn 2. But then as you upgrade your gear, you may just keep burning it, right? So keep some for the torch. Then this one is very popular because a lot of heroes in these games are physical damage. So it is good to keep the physical damage rating, which is the stone. So stoned and torch is good. Fire is also very popular. I actually find it a little bit short right now because there's a lot of energy hero, and as you upgrade, you burn the relics. So yeah, so that is the one that I use. That is a fire. Then the sun as well. The sun is spirit. So for all the hero that has spirit issue, you probably just put for them. You give you a 60 spirit. So that is good stuff. I also run a little bit short on that. Okay, so range is nice. So if a hero does both physical and range, which one shall you enchant, right? I'll go for range because I found that bow drop a lot more than the stone, but that's only my personal experience. So keep some for bow. I would say, because that is for your range, quite a number of range, but you only benefit range. So if your hero does both range and melee, you probably want to go for the damage type itself. Yeah. Then you have the bow for range and you have the melee for sphere, right? So this is something that you like to keep. Not many heroes is pure melee. Maybe how maybe Colossus. If you don't use summoner, but yeah, I mean, do keep some of them as well. Then this one is useless. Wealth, I have that recipe. I'd rather have XP than money. This one is very much summoner build. You may want to keep some, but crit, don't waste your rune for this one. Really, if you have extra rune, this tier rune, what you do is send it to me. Don't just waste it away. For the crit, really don't waste it. So yeah, so I talk about the enchant. So those really burn a lot of runes because you keep changing gear, you keep burning runes. So keep a nice stack for those. And by now, I hope you have formed like a set of rune that you always use. As for the rune word itself, there are many options here. I only get to use a few, and I probably want to just highlight a few that I use, and probably you want to take down which rune you want to keep and which one's not. If you are not too, I mean there are some that's quite nice for range, like range physical and so on. But I found that the one that I usually go for when our leveling is CS Brilliant, so I'll keep some Lick and keep some Year also for the XP and chance slot 2 to 5. So these two runes I'll use if I level a lot of hero. Is really useful for the Seer Brilliance, and also River of the Soul is very wonderful. If your hero has spirit issue, always River of the Soul. So take note of all these runes that require. All these are very common runes, by the way. You don't need a lot. Then another one that if you are higher end, right? Because a lot of things are quite old runes, and you could go for some of this. But on higher end, God of Mischief, which require low key rune, those are what I get for the hero that I love a lot. Like like X23, I got God of Mischief. And then you have the rest of it, like Power Dupe. When you have a hybrid hero, Power Dupe is the one that's nice. You consume a lot of day rune. I also need a big dupe rune, so that's why I keep a whole stack of day rune, like 100 of them. Unstoppable Force is very unique to those heroes that are on movement, but these are all very common runes. So I mean back on the high end rune, you're talking about Power Dupe. You're talking about Power Dupe. You're talking about the God of Mischief as well as the River of the Soul. If you get all this rune work, you got it covered for most of my hero. The rest of it, it is very specific depending on what hero you have, but you're fine. So I hope that gives you an idea of what kind of runes that you should reserve. There's no hard and fast rule, but I really, if the rune value is really high, just keep those for future use, and keep also a set that you commonly use as well, especially those that enchant Year, Kettle, as well as the Sun. Those are good stuff. So that covers the runes. So last but not the least is Relics. So Relics is very simple. I'm not going to spend more than a couple of minutes on this one. For Relics, I always, if you look at most of my heroes, I usually just stack up to 250. Because rune work this way. Relics works this way, right? At 1,000, for instance, at 1,000, I get 474 damage rating to certain things, right? If you have if you have 250, you actually get half of that already. So there's a diminishing return there. 250 is the most optimal way to get a set of relics that is useful to. If you have a lot of hero to spread across, then my suggestion to you is that store up to 250. Store up to 250. You see, you compare these two, right? One is close to 250, one is 1,000, right? The 250 is already getting half of the benefit. So is there a point to go for more? Now, of course, there's a different issue, right? Because some of this is very, very unique that only a few heroes like X23 may be able to, because she does a lot of basic as well. So it's useful for her. But if you're looking at things like Numeria, you need it for almost all the heroes that feel a bit fragile. You can't do 1,000 for all. So what do is that you do 250 spread across, right? Same as things like the spirit, the embodiment, which is give you the health and spirit. So again, you do 250 and spread to those that require spirit, and so on and so forth, like the melee. So my suggestion is that keep 250 and then you put it in a separate slot. So I don't know whether you know this trick or not. Some of you may be new to this game. You can separate the stash by holding a shift key, and there's a left key there, so you can just move. You can actually separate that. So if you realize that you're stacking too much, that's one way to split it into different things. All right. Okay, stack it back. So what I do is that once I get 250, I separate it into an R stash, because I don't want them mixed together when I do an auto transfer stuff from using a right click. So for instance, I could do like I want to stack this guy to there. Again, new player, you can do a right click. So click, then that goes to there. One go. So that's why I don't put another 250 here, because you'll get mixed up. So I hope this video is useful. I've talked about how you manage your stash through unique, about the runes as well as the relics. So the last episode is about team insignia and team up gear. So yeah, I'll see you again. And any questions, just drop me a comment. All right, bye.